has been a fruitless and winless road trip so far for the Twins tonight at Yankee Stadium. Game 2 of 4, they hope to end a 4-game skid against the Yankees. And it's a beautiful spring night for baseball in the Bronx. Dick Bramer joined in this series by Roy Smalley. You all know that the Twins have not fared well here at Yankee Stadium. You look at the numbers, and they really tell a story about the team not playing good baseball at all, really in any phase of the game.
The Yankees have dominated without question. They've been a better team for the most part than the Twins, but the Twins now are stuck in a position where they've had the last 3 or 4 years, they've had young players that have gone from, I just want to stay in the big leagues, to, boy, I hope we win, to now I really think they expect to win when they go out there, except for here. And I think the next step for this young ball club is to expect to win in Yankee Stadium. Hopefully they can start that tonight.
When he was drafted, Jose Barrios was projected as an ace and a stopper, and that's what he'll hope to do here tonight, stop a losing streak.
He's got ace stuff, there's no question about that, and he's been pitching like an ace here to start this season. So now, can he take the composure that he needs out there so that that stuff is as electric as it's been? He controlled his emotions. He self-admittedly, he was higher than a kite in Puerto Rico, and he channeled that into really good stuff. Another one here. He wants to be an ace. He wants to be a stopper. He's here on the big stage. Can he take that emotion out there and do it here tonight?
Well, one of the things the Twins did much better in 2017 than 16 is they limited the losing streaks. At no point last year did the Twins lose 5 games in a row, and the Twins will try to end a 4-game losing streak here this evening in the Bronx. Tough assignment, though. This Yankee lineup is loaded. Aaron Judge, one of several big sticks in the lineup that Jose Barrios will try to control. Connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by Jeep. Get great deals on the Jeep brand lineup at the Jeep Spring Sales Event.
Let's go. The Twins are trying to turn this road trip around in the Bronx. The Yankees took game one. This is the second of a 4-game series between the Twins and the Yankees. Good evening from Yankee Stadium. I'm Marnie Gellner. The Twins bullpen has gotten a lot of run here between the games in Puerto Rico and Tampa Bay and now here in the Bronx. And that bullpen's been taxed a little bit. And as a result, the Twins made a move yesterday and sent reliever Alan Buzenitz to AAA. He ended up pitching last night with not a lot of success, so the Twins have called up Tyler Duffy, who has been with this ball club the last couple of years. Duffy just threw 50 pitches for AAA Rochester on Friday, and earlier today Duffy talked about what he's been working on overall since spring training.
Honestly, I think I just, I kind of took a step back and slowed down once I got option out of camp and, just cleaned up things a little bit, on the whole. I mean, just all together, mechanics and, pitches and everything feels pretty good. Everything's been working and, hopefully it translates and I can keep doing it.
Duffy said he's pretty comfortable here. The last game that he played in the big leagues was right here at Yankee Stadium because that was the wild card game that Minnesota played at the end of last season. Now he's back up and made a short trip because he was in Rochester. Said he got the call at about 12:30, a little after midnight, not long after he played last night. So he just packed up, got here, and really had a easy travel, and he's ready to go too. Hasn't pitched since Friday when he threw 50 pitches, but he could provide the Twins with some long relief if they need it.
That the Twins won't need long relief. The hope is that the starter tonight will do a nice job. The hope is that the batting order will get some early run support for Jose Barrios. Here's how it looks, brought to you by Menards. Brian Dozier followed by Max Kepler moving up to the second spot. Then Miguel Sano, Eduardo Escobar, Eddie Rosario, Mitch Garver, Logan Morrison, A-Ray Adrianza, Ryan Lamar, the bench players. Mauer, who does not have good numbers against CC Sabathia, Jason Castro, and Robbie Grossman.
And on the mound, big CC Sabathia for the New York Yankees. CC once a power pitcher deluxe, now in more of the crafty left-hander mode, but he's found his the outside corner with that two-seam fastball, and that really complements the cutter into right-handers. He's become a crafty, although very big, left-hand pitcher.
And Brian Dozier in the box to get things started. First pitch rolled slowly towards short. Gregorius has it, and on the one pitch, Dozier's retired. Take a look at the Yankees out in the field. Brought to you by Northland Ford. Brett Gardner is in left field. Aaron Hicks is in center. Aaron Judge is in right. An infield of Andujar, Gregorius, Torres, Walker, and Gary Sanchez behind the plate. Brian tried to jolt the Yankees like he did in the wild card game with a leadoff home run, but he grounded out weakly. And now here is Max Kepler. Curious to see what the lineup was going to look like tonight with the veteran left-hander out there. And not only is Kepler in the lineup, he's handled left-handers so well they have moved him up to second in the batting order. Foul back, and it's 1-1.
Well, the big thing about Max Kepler this year was going to be when does he learn to hit left-handers? When does he show that he can be an everyday player? You can see struggled against left-handers last year, but so far has had very good at-bats against them.
Just swinging, and it's 2-1. Kepler so far 3 for 10, but 3 hits have all gone for extra bases. 2 doubles and a home run. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Go back to take a look at the 2-1 pitch. Kepler gearing up for a fastball, but it wasn't.
And that's okay up until you get 2 strikes. Now what Max has to learn is I can't just make easy outs just waving at that breaking ball 2 strikes. I got to fight harder than that. I got to wait longer.
And he does, and lifts it foul over the Twins dugout.
See, that's the whole key for left-handers, in my view, especially for Max now as he starts playing every day against left-handers again. Give up your dead pull hitter mentality. Get some hits the other way. You can start setting up left-handed pitchers once you can prove you hit the ball the other way.
Popped up left side. Gregorius, the only infielder over there, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Check out tonight's Pizza Ranch for the win.
The important thing for the Twins tonight is to play the game. Don't play the Yankees, and by that I mean you just have to execute. Berrios needs to maintain his composure and just pitch the way he's been pitching. It doesn't matter that it's Aaron Judge or it's Giancarlo Stanton. They've got holes. They're just a uniform up there. Pitch to the holes. And it's the same way with the Twins hitters. They throw the ball over the middle of the plate. Those are the ones you got to hit. Doesn't matter who's throwing them.
And Sano takes up ball 1 in last night's game, and I know many of you watched it. Twins were chasing out of the zone pretty much all night long from the first inning on against Tanaka, and that'll be the challenge here tonight against Sabathia to try to keep him in the strike zone. There's no reason for a pitcher to throw a hittable pitch over into the strike zone if you're chasing pitches regularly out of the strike zone.
That's absolutely true. If they're going to swing at it where they can't hit it, just keep throwing it there.
1-1 to Sano with 2 gone. And he takes 2-1.
Tanaka said, I read in the paper this morning that Tanaka said the reason that his split finger and sliders were working so well is because he had good command of the fastball, the inside part of the plate. We'll talk about what that means and why it's important to Sabathia as well.
3-1 Escobar on deck. There's Tanaka. Those who've seen him pitch this year thought he was at his sharpest last night. Got some early run support. That always helps. 3-1 to Miguel Sano, tonight's designated hitter. Takes a walk. A man aboard now for Escobar. Back to your point, Sabathia, and he's no stranger to Twins fans, of course, all the years in Cleveland. He used to be a pitcher who could overpower you. Now he moves the ball inside, outside. Everything seems to have some movement to it, and while the velocities come down quite a bit, he's still been pretty effective.
He's got a cut fastball that he runs on the inside part of the plate to right-handers, and like Tanaka said, he had command of his fastball on the inside part of the plate last night. That's what Sabathia wants to do. He wants to run that pitch. That's a big swerve that he throws, but he'll throw a cut fastball in on right-handers, which right-handers want to get that off the handle. They want to get the bat head out in front. That gets them in a hurry and makes them susceptible to the little two-seam fastball on the outside corner, occasional changeup.
Oh, a high strike is called with a fastball at 89 miles per hour.
So here's what Sabathia wants to do. All around that box of a zone. High fastball, cut fastball, inside. See, get all around that perimeter of that box. Try not to be in the middle. Change speeds. Get guys in a hurry on the fastball and then throw something slower on the outside corner. Like that.
For years, the template for a hard-throwing lefty adapting to more of a finesse pitcher was Frank Tanana. And
oh boy, he went from really good to really slow, but he did it. You're right.
And I think that's the challenge Sabathia is faced with now. He seems to be adapting to being a different type of pitcher. 1-2. That's down the right field line. That's headed towards the corner, and that is a fair ball. Stays in the ballpark. Judge can't field it cleanly, and now Sano will come around to score, and Escobar will go to third. Wow. The Twins caught a break at Yankee Stadium. Typically that ball here at Yankee Stadium or at the old place would have bounced into the seats for a ground rule double.
Well, again, a great two-strike approach by Escobar, waiting to see the ball. The ball's up and away, and he goes with the ball. Now right here is where Judge, I think, took his eye off it just a little bit. The ball drops in for a double, and he just wasn't in position to field it cleanly, and that it allowed Sano to get all the way around.
They rule an error in addition to a double for Escobar. The bottom line is the Twins have struck first, and now Rosario will bat with Escobar at third. No run batted in, and Rosario takes an 89-mile-per-hour fastball under the chin. One and 0. Foul back. And we've already seen the value of Miguel Sano taking a walk. If he's being thrown strikes, well, then it's a different matter. He's there to smash the ball, hit it, get extra bases, hit home runs. But if he doesn't have a hittable pitch, in this case with 2 down, he took a walk, and something good happened in the next at bat. 1-1 to Rosario. Another foul that'll reach the seats. One and 2. Right now it's an unearned run. Rosario hoping to get a hit and make both runs this inning earned runs. Got a piece to stay alive. We saw last night it works the other way too. Jake Odorizzi really struggled with his control early on, walked a couple in the first inning. Those guys both came around to score.
Walks are really tough. They're tough to give up, especially against a team like the Yankees, but for any big league team, you just give a team a free 90 feet and bad things tend to happen.
And low, good take by Rosario.
Eddie Rosario is going to be one of those left-hand hitters that battles left-handed pitchers very, very well. He's going to just continue to get better and better as he matures as a fine young hitter in Major League Baseball.
Second pitch for Sabathia. Now a full count. Mitch Garver on deck. Talking with Paul O'Neill, who does TV analysis for the Yankee Network. And we were talking before the game tonight. There's Paul O'Neill about last night's game, and he said in this ballpark you cannot walk people. You can't. It's a bad idea in any ballpark, but particularly here. Full count. And a roller to Walker at first. Twins take advantage of a walk and a Yankee error to strike first. It's 1-0. Yankee manager, so the rookie manager sending out this Menard's batting order. Brett Gardner followed by Aaron Judge, Didi Gregorius, Giancarlo Stanton, Gary Sanchez, Aaron Hicks, Neil Walker, Miguel Andujar, and Gleyber Torres.
And that is one tough Bronx bombing lineup for this young man, Jose Barrios, to face, but that stuff is up to it. If he throws strikes, his stuff is better than these guys. We'll see what develops here to see if he is in control of his emotions and his delivery, because when he's pounding the strike zone, he is going to get anybody out, any team.
And he'll face Gardner, Judge, and Gregorius, and he hopes that's it here in this first inning. Gardner started the ball game with a walk last night, and the Yankees jumped out early. There's a strike on the outside corner. If anything, and I can't imagine having ever said this ever before in our trips here, if anything, the Twins starting pitcher is coming down from a high to pitch at Yankee Stadium. This is the big stage, but it is nothing compared to the stage he was on his last time out.
Not in his own mind. That's absolutely true. Pitching in his home country of Puerto Rico.
2-1.
And he admitted that he tried to control his emotions and he couldn't. And I think one of the most significant things that has been said by a Twins player and about a Twins player, this one about himself,
strike call, 2-2,
is that he couldn't control his emotions, and yet he had total command of all his pitches. A year ago, 2 years ago, if he couldn't control his emotions, we know what would have happened. The ball would have been all over the place. He'd have been walking guys and ball three on everybody, and not in Puerto Rico. That was significant.
Carries to left, right to Rosario, 1 away. Check out the Twins in the field with Brian Lamar in center field, flanked by Rosario and Kepler. Escobar at third, Adrianza, Dozier up the middle, Logan Morrison at first, and Mitch Garver doing the catching. Brought to you by Northland Ford. Here is Aaron Judge with the bases empty. And we were talking in the top half of this inning about the danger of walking people here at Yankee Stadium. And Barrios has been so good at that. There's strike one, getting ahead of Judge. He's walked one man and struck out 29. The man he walked was Chris Davis in his first start in the plate appearance after the Chance Cisco bunt single in the 9th inning. I think everybody was a little, if not taken aback, taken by surprise by the bunt single. Barrios walked the next guy. That's the only guy he's walked. To the backstop, 2-1.
Well, that was going to be the only thing about Jose Barrios. With this stuff, a tough moving fastball, a wipeout curve, and a very good changeup. The only question was going to be whether or not he could find a way to get that stuff in the strike zone, pitch after pitch after pitch. The only thing that's going to beat him is 2-0 and 3-1 on hitters.
Pulled foul. Now it's 2-2. When the Twins faced the Yankees in the wild card game here last year, it was basically all hands on deck. That meant Barrios was eligible to pitch out of the bullpen because if you don't win, you go home. The Twins ended up going home. Aaron Judge hit a home run against Barrios in a relief role.
That was then. This is now.
And now 3-2. Judge draws an awful lot of walks, and he's got a very dangerous hitter in Didi Gregorius on deck. Struck him out with a 95-mile-per-hour fastball.
In under his hands, and that's exactly where you have to pitch Aaron Judge. You pitch him there, he'll swing and miss, and it'll get him in a hurry, and he'll swing at the curveball. That's a perfect pitch to Aaron Judge, and that's kind of what I was getting at earlier, Dick, when I said you have to execute. Yeah, Aaron Judge is a fine player. He's a wonderful player. He's going to hit 50 home runs in this league. It maybe multiple seasons, but he can't hit that pitch. And if you can throw it there, if you can execute, you're going to get him out. He's got holes, as do almost everybody in this lineup, with the possible exception of this young man right here. I think Didi Gregorius, for all the Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton and Gary Sanchez, I think this is the straw that stirs this drink. I think he's the guy that makes this lineup as good as it is.
Well, look at the numbers: 324, 724, and an OPS well over 1,000. One strike and a foul back, 0-2. And he's one of the few imported players in this Yankee lineup. Gardner, Judge, Sanchez, Andujar, Torres. They're all products of this Yankee farm system. Gregorius coming over from Arizona.
Shame on them.
Down and in, and it's 1-2.
And maybe nobody really knew how good a player Didi Gregorius was going to be. Sometimes it's the case where a young man just finds something and absolutely blossoms into a player that people didn't see coming. But I'll tell you what, he takes the toughest at bats, I believe, time in and time out of anybody in this Yankee lineup.
And now 2-2. The big home run for the Yankees early in the game when it mattered in the wild card game last year. Came to the Yankees and had some injury issues, a right shoulder issue, which is never a good idea for a shortstop, but he's come back to be healthy. And I think a lot of people in baseball agree that he is the leader of this Yankee lineup. Swung on and fouled back.
There's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball up in the strike zone. We saw it was right at the top of the perimeter. Would have been a strike. It's a pitch that left-handed hitters don't handle very well. A lot of swings and misses right there by left-handed pitchers, but Gregorius able to fight it off. Live to see another pitch.
Look up the changeup missing, and it's another 3-ball count.
And that's a great take by Gregorius right there. You see a fastball at 95 up near your eyes. Come back with a very good changeup. It was low for sure, but a lot of left-handed hitters would have swung at that changeup after seeing that 95 up at letter high.
Full count to Gregorius. Stanton on deck. Struck him out, as he's done so often already in 2018. Barrios pitches a 1-2-3 inning. Your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Twins home screen icons and features such as MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. It was a savior for me last night because we were not broadcasting the game. I was in the hotel looking forward to watching the Twins, watching the Timberwolves, and we got to 7 o'clock. And the hotel had ESPN that carried the game last night blacked out. They didn't carry the local Yankee network.
Are you trying to rub this in? Or?
Well, but so I got the At Bat on my tablet here, and I watched it from the comfort of my hotel room. There's a pop-up left side of the infield. Andujar coming in. One down. And that'll bring up Logan Morrison. Morrison dropping down to 7th for a couple of reasons. One, it's a left-hander on the mound, but also Morrison clearly struggling in his first year with the Twins. Actually hitting left-handers better than right-handers right now. 2 for 9 versus lefties and 4 for 47 against righties.
Yeah, the 4 for 47 against right-handers is a bit of a head scratcher. Just go through those streaks sometimes.
Strike over the inside corner, and Morrison looks back at Ryan Blackney.
And when you're hitting 107, those pitches get called strikes. I mean, it could go either way. Just chalk it up. It's going to be a strike.
Joe Mauer, 9 hits, 46 at bats, with 17 strikeouts against CC Sabathia. So no question why Morrison is in, and for that matter, playing first base. Decided it hit him. Came close. 2-1.
So Paul Molitor is going to be looking for games to rest Joe Mauer all season long, and one of those games, it's not just because Joe doesn't hit Sabathia well. He's looking for a time to give Joe a little rest against a guy. Why not sit him against a guy he hadn't hit?
Breaking ball down and away, a swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Driven foul down the left field line. Years ago, when they moved over here to this new location and this new ballpark, I think the sentiment of a lot of Twins fans was, good, blow the place up and we'll have better luck here in the new Yankee Stadium. Well, the Twins are 9-26, counting playoff games here at the new Yankee Stadium. 2-2. Morrison strikeout for out number 2.
That pitch right there set up by those inside fastballs. Pounded him inside, 1 for a strike, 1 almost hit him. Left-hander thinking, man, are you coming in there? Well, I got to get the bat head out. And then he makes up his mind too soon, swings at the first thing he sees, and it's not the fastball he thought.
CC Sabathia with that strikeout just tied Jim Bunning for 17th place in the all-time strikeout list, 2,855, and if he can retain health, pretty good bet that he'll join the 3,000 strikeout club.
That's a lot of strikeouts.
And Jim Bunning was the ace of your uncle's staff in Philadelphia.
Yes, he was, and what a pitcher.
1 strike to A-Ray Adrianza. A great game in St. Petersburg defensively, getting a chance to start it short again here tonight. High fly, short left field. Gardner coming in, and Sabathia has a 1-2-3 second inning.
second inning, and here is your scoop from the clubhouse. Paul Molitor talked about Jose Barrios' strike to walkout ratio, which is now 31-1, and said that command is one of the last things Jose needed to get him up to the next level. He has it now, and Molitor called that ratio incredible right now. Molitor shuffled the batting order a bit too. He said he wanted to take advantage of a couple of guys who look like they're swinging the bat a little bit better. Mostly just wanted to mix things up right now, trying to get that offense jump started. And Byron Buxton is not going to play today in his rehab assignment. He fouled a ball off his foot a couple of days ago, and the swelling and discomfort are enough that it's really limiting him. So the Twins are changing their plan just a bit. Buxton is going back to Fort Myers. He'll try to get some relief on the toe that's bothering him after that foul ball, and back with the Twins. Probably, Molitor said, Friday at the earliest. But I guess, Dick and Roy, if there's a setback for Buxton, it's better that it's his foot and a little foul ball and not any migraine symptoms, which is what put him on the DL in the first place.
Thank you, Marty. Stanton strikes out on 4 pitches, and yeah, that is good news with all the talk about the foot and the toe. It's just been assumed that the migraine issue is better for Byron, and Friday at the earliest he will not come to New York. 3 straight strikeouts for Barrios. Sanford Health Injury Report giving you an update on Byron Buxton. And the original plan was Buxton was going to play last night, tonight, fly in time for tomorrow night's game, but that will not happen. 1 down, and now Gary Sanchez. 5 with 3 strikeouts against Barrios and a check swing strike.
Good job there by Barrios and Garver going with a breaking ball first pitch. He's been pounding the first pitch fastball down the middle to everybody. Sanchez over there watching, looking, ambushing a little bit. Jump out on that fastball, and all of a sudden it was a breaking ball. Barrios and Garver got a cheap strike there.
Hit hard to right center field. Deep and gone. A home run to the opposite field. Sanchez hitting his 4th of the year, and it's 1 apiece.
Not a bad pitch there by Barrios. Sometimes you have to just tip your hat to a good hitter who's got an awful lot of strength and has the ability to get the ball in the jet stream that is right center field here. Watch the pitch. Wanted to go away, got in and a little bit of the plate. Inside out's the ball. That's not a home run swing. That's just a decent swing, inside out swing by a very strong guy. And that is a jet stream out there in the right center of Yankee Stadium.
It's also not a home run at the old Yankee Stadium. That's one of the areas that is different. The gap in right center field is a lot closer than it was at the old ballpark.
Sure is. You had to drive the ball when I played here. It was a legitimate home run hitting out to right center.
Nevertheless, a home run here, and it's 1 apiece. Aaron Hicks, the batter, and he takes ball 1. And just off the corner now, 2-0. It is a relentless lineup, top to bottom.
Yes.
They have weapons that can do damage 1 through 9. Another changeup outside, and it's 3-0 to Hicks.
And here's what Jose really has to guard against. He just was pounding the strike zone up until Sanchez shocked him with that home run. You got to come right back pounding the strike zone, make them swing the bat with that kind of stuff.
And he missed on 4, and Hicks is aboard.
That's the kind of thing right there that will beat Jose Barrios. Punish the next guy. Okay, the guy got a home run. These guys are going to do that. But he did it with nobody on base. Been pounding the strike zone, and now don't get tentative. Just because a guy hit the ball hard, don't get tentative. Keep throwing it in there.
Just his 2nd walk of the year in 29 innings. A man aboard, 1 out, and on another left-handed batter, Neil Walker. Great pickup by the Yankees, given the dimensions here. Walker being an established major leaguer. Cracked foul, 1 strike. To a slow start. with the Yankees this year. Soft throw first. Walker's been around. First broke into the major leagues in 2009 with the Pirates. Spent most of his career there. Year and a half with the Mets. Finished last year with the Brewers.
I got to believe Neil Walker likes this pickup for him as well. Being here with toward the end of the career, maybe short porch in right field, part-time duties at first base. And elsewhere, I think this lands him in a pretty good spot too. Good team like the Yankees.
1 strike. Check swing and a foul. 0-2. Just an impression from somebody who doesn't know anything about hitting, but watch the teams take batting practice here, and particularly the left-handed batters. They just swing with ease because they don't have to muscle the ball out. Now Hicks is a pretty violent swinger from both sides of the plate, but just watching the way they go about their business, the dimensions are so cozy to right field. Why would you overexert yourself in your swing?
Well, that's a good point, and all you really have to do is get the bat head out in front. Just contact a fastball out in front of you, and it's going to go over the right field fence.
High fastball gets Walker 2 down. That'll bring up Miguel Andujar. Time for our AARP take on today. Andujar has put himself in very select Yankee company already. Just the 3rd Yankee at the age of 24 or under to get extra base hits in 7 straight games. Look at the other 2 who did it, DiMaggio and Mantle. The only reason he's playing is Drury, the scheduled 3rd baseman. And Byron Buxton can relate. He's missed the last week and a half because of migraines. Breaking ball over. We haven't seen Barrios throw much of the breaking ball in the first couple innings. He dropped one over for a first pitch strike.
That was the hard biting one. That's you saw Andujar knees buckle just a little bit. That's the real good one. That's the sharp breaking one.
And off the end of the bat.
Boy, by all accounts, Andujar has been expected to be a very good hitter in the big leagues at some point in time. Maybe now is his time. Read accounts by managers and coaches that have seen him in the minor leagues. I don't think I've seen or read anybody that didn't think he was going to be a player, at least a hitter.
There's strike 3. Barrios strikes out the side, but he does give up the game-tying home run to Sanchez. It's 1 apiece as we head to the 3rd. Brian Dozier will hit for the Twins as they hope to retake the lead. You can join Troy Aikman and Joel Klatt in Dallas for all the big picks coming up Thursday and Friday, live on Fox and the NFL Network. Dick Bramer joined by Roy Smalley and Marty Gellner here. Game 2 between the Twins and the Yankees. Ryan Lamar, the number 9 batter, will lead things off. He was the finishing pitcher in the ball game last night.
Never good.
Wasn't good when Chris Jimenez did it 6 times in the first half of the year last year. And it wasn't good when Lamar did it, although it was his second pitching appearance. Showing bunt didn't offer, I don't think. Nope. And it is 1-1. Molitor out without the services of Byron Buxton for at least the rest of this road trip. Inside 2-1. It'll be Lamar, Dozier, and Kemper here in the Twins' third. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
It's so very hard as a hitter to have a pitcher come inside hard on you like Sabathia has done with Lamar, and then not be vulnerable to it. The change up down the way like he just swung and missed. See if you can get a 2-strike approach here.
Check his swing, and it's 3-2. Took a call, 3rd strike. Slow breaking ball at 80 miles per hour. 1 down, and that'll bring up Brian Dozier. Time for our Lowe's team together. Dozier putting himself in some select company as well. The last time a second baseman had this long of a hitting streak to start a year, somebody by the name of Johnny Temple.
You don't remember Johnny Temple?
I don't remember Johnny Temple in 1961. He was part of that great first base combination. Temple to Held to Stallone or
to Francona.
Daddy Wags or whatever.
That would have been
Tito Francona.
Tito Francona. And the reason I know that is because I was a baseball card collector and
as was I.
And a big league player worshiper as a young boy. And Johnny Temple was a pretty good player for the Cincinnati Reds and Cleveland Indians.
Swinging in 1-2. I collected baseball cards too, and in every other pack, every other card was a Sherm Lawler.
Yeah.
Out there in the baseball card market, they must go for about 2 cents now, because every other card I got was Sherm Lawler.
Yeah, Woody Held was right up there.
1-2. Dozier taps it foul to stay alive. At any rate, it's a 24-game hitting streak going back to the last 7 games of last year. That T-shirt, and presumably the same guy wearing it, and eventually he'll be right.
Yep, eventually he will be right.
Apparently, so okay, it ends tonight.
I'm betting he's wrong.
Up high, and it's 2-2.
Just watch Sabathia's location. It's all over the place and at all different speeds. I was talking with Brian a little bit in the lobby as we getting ready to come out to the ballpark, and he said something exactly right. He said you got to hand it to a guy that was a power pitcher that's learned how to be a finesse guy.
Popped up right field, coming in as Judge, with his stature only takes about 6 steps. 2 down.
And the ball gets to his glove faster than those guys.
That's right. Well, now, what about the comparison? Different body types, of course, but Frank Tanana was a power pitcher. He was a lefty complement to Nolan Ryan, and they both threw the fire out of the ball.
There was an 0 for 8 waiting to happen every time we saw those guys.
But then by the time he resurfaced and faced you guys in '87 with the Tigers, it was, pretty much what Sabathia's got right now.
No, not even close.
Really?
Oh, no. He would throw a fastball that was 3 or 4 miles an hour slower than CeCe's here, and then he threw a big, slow overhand curveball and an even slower changeup.
1-0 to Kepler.
He hurt what had been a phenomenal arm, and he just, so many of us just loved the game, just kept trying to find a way. But I'll tell you what, when Frank Tanana was, before he hurt his arm, he had 90 left-hander. He was like Danny Duffy with another pitch and better control.
Really?
Yeah, he threw 90, probably 94, maybe 95. Had a sharp breaking Barrios kind of curveball from the left side and a really good changeup. He was tough.
1-2 to Max Kepler. He has sent down 6 in a row. On the ground, 2 hops. Easy play for Walker. And another 1-2-3 inning for Sebastian. So tonight at Target Field, and a limited number of U of M theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and maroon and gold Twins cap. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/U of M or call 800-33-TWINS. The Reds are in town for an interleague series. Joey Votto and company. Their new interim manager, Jim Riggleman. Gleyber Torres leading things off for the Yankees against Jose Barrios. Breaking ball on the outside corner.
It'll be fun to watch Joey Votto hit. That man can hit. He's been an offensive force in Major League Baseball for a long time. Terrific player.
Torres just 36 big league at bats, and it's a little frightening to think how young and inexperienced these Yankees are balanced against how good they are. Fouled away 1-2. Tonight in the lineup, they have 5 players who do not have 1,500 big league at bats. Aaron Hicks is the senior statesman in this group, and yet they're so incredibly productive, save for the bottom 2 guys, but great things expected from Andujar and Torres. So if you in some perverse way like to hate the Yankees, you're going to have fun the next 5 years.
It's going to be a lot to hate.
Down and away, and it's 2-2. You know, it used to be when this Yankee scourge over the Twins began, they got veteran players like Teixeira and Alex Rodriguez and guys like that imported from other teams that had already proven that they were top shelf players. And the Yankees have rebuilt internally. Fouled back as Torres tried to spin on one. They're young, and they're good, and that we've not said about the Yankees in quite some time.
Well, what's interesting about that, Dick, is that it wasn't that long ago where we looked at the Yankees and, man, they're old. It's going to take them a while, but it didn't. I mean, all of a sudden they were right back because of these young guys.
Breaking ball, tap foul. Torres frustrating Barrios. Throwing some good pitches, trying to strike him out. And Barrios has already picked up 5 strikeouts among the 6 outs tonight. Fastball sounded like a broken bat. And crossed to Morris and 1 away.
Well, I have to tell you that I think the only thing that Jose Barrios needs to that will prevent him from being good is not throwing strikes. But when he hits his spots, he's throwing these pitches exactly perfectly. Stanton and Judge have to be pitched in there. Left-handed pitchers have to be pitched up there to strike them out, and then the wipeout curveball. All of those pitches on strikeouts that is an example of what's made the difference for Barrios this year. He's not only throwing strikes, but he's throwing strikes in the perfect spots when he really needs to. 3-2 on Judge. He can't just throw one down the middle. He needs to throw one up and in, but it's got to be in the perfect spot. It was in that same perfect spot to Stanton. Maybe the toughest out in Didi Gregorius. He was right on the outside corner to strike him out.
Missing inside 2-0 to Gardner. Missing outside, and Barrios with a little long look in toward Ryan Blackney. 1 walk tonight. It was a 4-pitch walk to Hicks right after the Sanchez home run. Judge on deck. There's a strike, 3-1. Trying to look at this from a hitter's perspective, you can kind of understand why Barrios has pitched deep into ball games. He has had some quick innings because he's earned the reputation as a strike thrower now. Just off the outside corner, and Barrios, I think, with at least 2 of those pitches, thought he had hit a corner. It's a walk. Second walk of the ball game for Barrios. A Dairy Queen combination involving 2 guys with similar stature. Just one guy's done it for a lot more years than Aaron Judge has done it. Great power from the right side of the plate.
To your point, Dick, it's not just that Barrios is starting to earn the reputation of throwing strikes, but guys don't want to go deep in the count with him. He's got wipeout stuff. He's shown so far.
Check swing, no swing.
And that's why I say that the only thing that will stop him is walks and 2-0 and 3-1 counts. Boy, it's right where you have to pitch this guy.
Where he struck him out in the first inning, wasn't
yep,
it?
It was a little bit higher than that, but yep, exactly in there, just off the plate. It puts so much pressure on hitters when a guy's got 3 pitches that are all A+ pitches, and he just is relentless in pounding the strike zone with it. I can't explain to you the difference that it makes in hitter's mind.
Strike called on the outside corner.
That's just a beautiful pitch. But see, he runs that fastball in under your hands, and then starts out looking like a fastball and breaks. You see where Judge's rear end is. Is starting to move out toward left field or toward the Twins dugout, and it just isn't that fastball in. You try to eliminate pitches as a hitter. You say, okay, I don't want to hit that breaking ball. I'm going to hope he can't get that over. I'm just going to look for the fastball, let's say, from the middle in. And then he shows you it in there and then comes back and throws a breaking ball on the outside corner, a fastball on the outside corner. And it just messes with your mind because the stuff's so good and he's throwing in such good spots.
Mixing inside, and it's 2-1. Paul Molitor had an interesting observation, I thought, about Berríos when asked about his arsenal of pitches. He said, you know, 97 is still there, but what he has done so effectively, at least prior to tonight, is refine the control of 93, 94, and 95. In other words, there's a little something left back there if he feels he needs it. Now he's fallen behind Judge 3-1. And as Molitor was describing Berríos, the guy I kept thinking about was Justin Verlander, who of course has done it for 10 years. But you know, you see guys get on base against Verlander. Oh, he does still have 97, and he gets out of innings with that.
That's exactly right. And Berríos is going to get there as well. He's run into a little streak here where he's, again, it's Aaron Judge. I mean, he's got a chance to hit one 600 feet, but and so he's gotten a little tentative on the mound here.
Drill to the corner. And that bounces off the wall. Played well by Rosario, and Gardner will hold at third. A bullet. And Rosario played that very well to keep the Yankees from scoring. Didn't walk him, but he fell behind.
Yeah, but it's 3-1. And again, I'll say it again because it just bears repeating and repeating and repeating. That 2-0 and 3 walks, and 2-0, 3-1 has been the only thing that beats Jose Berríos. Because he's cheating on a fastball, looking for the ball middle end. He can hit out of the ballpark. He just hit over the top of that just a little bit, but he was just sitting all over that ball, that fastball in because he could, because it was 3-1 and he had a pitch to play with.
And this is a pick your poison moment for the Twins and Jose Berríos. Garvin Alston coming to the mound to talk about it. First mound visit for the Twins. You've got Gregorius, who is so good and has proven himself to be a big run producer. And behind him, despite his 4-hit game last night, a very strikeout-prone Giancarlo Stanton. So a little strategy session here. I'm sure Alston not coming out to talk mechanics or anything like that. It's just, how do we want to get through 3 and 4 in this Yankee lineup?
And also remember, you've got great stuff. Your good stuff in good spots is better than these guys. So let's get back in your focus here and execute the pitches that you're trying to execute. With first base open, there's 2 reasons why you wouldn't walk Gregorius. One of them is the guy on deck. But if you walk him intentionally, then it really limits Berríos' flexibility of pitching to Stanton with nobody on.
Gregorius struck out swinging his first time up.
So you can make pitches here to try to let Gregorius get himself out.
Outside, taking ball 1.
So if you walk him, you walk him. You'd like to try to get him to hit something just off the plate or on the outside corner, something where he can make a weak out. And then if you walk him, then come back, try to strike Stanton out and get out of this thing.
Now low, 2-0. Gregorius probably wise to the strategy here too. He's not going to try to expand the strike zone. Given the situation, almost looking at this 2-0 pitch like it's a 3-0 pitch.
It's exactly right. He's going to be absolutely zoned in on one specific pitch. If it's not there, he'll take it.
An off-speed pitch. That might have been a straight change.
It was a changeup. Yep, and that 2-0, and Gregorius looking for that pitch right there being a fastball. He was looking for 93 to 94 in the middle of the plate there. And Berríos pulled the string on. It was a terrific pitch, and that's what you can do with first base open. That's what we're talking about here. You don't give in to this hitter and say, oh, and throw it down the middle. You just keep making quality pitches. If you walk him, you walk him.
2-1. Loop to left, down for a hit. 1 run will score. Not hit well at all, but now the walk leads to a run with the follow-up base hits.
Got a little bit more of the plate than he wanted to. A ball up high. Gregorius with a 2-strike approach after that kind of swing, after that changeup 2-0. He gave up trying to pull it and just flared the ball left. So again, you tip your hat to Gregorius, but that's not exactly where you saw Mitch Garver wanting the ball away. Ball got up high in the strike zone, and he was able to just flare it to the left.
Barrios has gotten 7 outs. He's gotten 5 of them via strikeout, and he needs one here. He got Stanton swinging to lead off the second.
So you see here Garver trying to go on the outside corner, and he gets a lot of the plate. He's actually lucky right there that the changeup had impressed Gregoria so much that he got him off the fastball a little bit, or that ball might have gone a long way to right field.
Stanton with 86 at bats and 33 strikeouts, and Barrios jumps ahead 0-2.
He's really got him set up now. He can throw the up and in fastball, or he can throw that same breaking ball. Just stay out of the middle. Looks like he's going to go breaking ball. Yep.
3 pitches and he's gone. Stanton last night hit a hanging breaking ball from Jaco to Rizzi and hit it about a country mile, but these were breaking balls off the plate.
Well, that's just fantastic breaking ball, and he was not going to be able to hit that. Put it right in the same spot. Just beautiful wipeout curveballs set up by the 94-mile-an-hour fastball in under his hands that he proved he couldn't hit either. Now he's in a hurry, swinging at the first thing he sees, and he didn't really see those curveballs all that well.
Sanchez saw something well. He homered over the right center field fence to tie the game last inning. Now up with 2 on and 2 out. Popped up near the Yankee dugout. Morrison with a look but no play. Sanchez, right-handed hitter, finding the friendly confines of right center field. Exit velocity at just over 103. 2-degree launch angle. Caught on the warning track at target field. 1 strike.
Yeah, that home run swing of Sanchez's his first time up was not. His body did not stride into that ball like he was trying to hit it to right center. That was just got beat on the fastball and inside out of the ball, and he's tremendously strong.
On the ground. And a flip to second, and Barrios gives up the go-ahead run, but strands a couple of runners, picks up a big strikeout of Stanton, and it's 2-1. BuyFordNow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. By Grand Casino, the best stories start here. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Back at the stadium where the Yankees have a 2-1 lead as we head to the 4th inning. This is officially a TRIA Tuesday. Tria, team physicians for the Minnesota Twins. Miguel Sano drew a first inning walk, scored on a double and error in the Escobar bat. And breaking ball tickles the outside corner, 1 strike. Sano, Escobar, and Rosario. Twins have just the 1 hit against Sabathia. Popped up in foul ground. Walker makes the catch, and Sano retired. This is Sabathia's second start since he went on the disabled list with a hip injury. And even though his innings pitched numbers, all the numbers aren't what they once were, there are those here who will tell you he's still the leader of this pitching staff. Severino has the greatest stuff. Sonny Gray is a very good pitcher. The Twins will see him. But the elder statesman still, I'm trying to think of another cliche to use, but he carries a lot of weight in the Yankee club. I can't come up with anything else. Driven hard, but foul.
Well, Brian Dozier was talking in our pregame show with Marnie Gellner and talking about what a leader is in the clubhouse, what he's learned that a leader is, and Sabathia has the same kinds of traits that Brian was talking about. It's how you go about preparing for games. It's how you go about your work on the side to make yourself better. And then, as I was saying before, for a big, strong power pitcher to say, can't do that anymore, got to figure out something else, and be able to demonstrate he can do that too.
Escobar has both hits. He breezed one right in front of the glove and face of Sabathia. I'll bring up Rosario.
So all those kinds of things are why Sabathia, with not as good as stuff and not as good as stats, would be the leader of this pitching staff. As you see Escobar drilling that ball back through the middle.
It was between the glove and the face of Sabathia. Here's Rosario, grounded out to first, his first time up.
I like the way Eduardo Escobar has gone at CC Sabathia tonight. I really think that with him, you have to pick a side of the plate. And it looks like Eduardo Escobar is looking for the ball out over the plate, middle to outside part, and hitting the ball. He got to hit a double to down the right field line his first time up, and line drive to center. I think guys get caught up thinking they're going to get that inside cut fastball from CC, and he just never quite throws it for strikes in there, and then gets you out on stuff away. Escobar looks like he's saying, I'm looking for the ball out over the plate. I forget that one on the inside, which I think is the right approach for him.
1-1 to Rosario. Big home run swing and a foul straight back to the screen. He was sitting on fastball and he got it, but he missed it.
And yet, to your point, on this pitch right here, if he shortens the swing just a little bit, just to get the big end of the bat, just get the bat out in front. It was a little bit long there.
Just put the barrel on it. Watch it fly.
Just put the barrel out in front of you and contact the ball, and that ball's in the seats.
And the fastball gets him. He got back-to-back fastballs. 2 down. Strikeout for Sabathia. The last pitch brought to you by Jeep. He got that ball to sink a little bit somehow, magically.
Perfect spot, right in under his hands.
There's Mitch Garver, hit a pop-up to third base, his first time up. Down and in, ball 1.
Strikeout to pitch to Rosario. Again, another example of the veteran leadership, or veteran courage of Sabathia. You don't see too many left-handers willing to throw fastballs on the inside part of the plate in this ballpark,
right,
with that short porch. But Sabathia has a feeling he knows how to get somebody out, and he's not afraid to do it.
And now on the outside corner with something at 84.
Little change up. I'm going to show you the ball inside, show you the ball inside, and I'm going to throw a two-seamer, a little sinker on the outside, or I'm going to throw a change-up on the outside, and then you think you might get something like that, and I'll buzz one in under your hands again just to keep you honest.
Runner goes. Sanchez's throw is in time to get him. And it looks as if, I don't know if he's injured or not. Torres may have hurt himself on the tag. Escobar tagged out high. And the inning ends on a caught stealing. Time to bring you today's Coors Timeless Moment. They didn't have fantasy leagues back then, but if they did, Paul Molitor would have been a nice draft pick. In one game on this date in 1996, he scored 5 and drove in 5.
He could do that. He could do both of those things. Just got up there.
Hicks lifting it to right. And Barrios will get a 1-pitch out. He'll take all of those he can get at this point. 1 down. And that'll bring up Neil Walker. I asked Paul when he came up with the Brewers a long time ago. Paul always makes sure everybody knows that it was a long time ago. I asked him what type of team the Brewers were when he came up, because he stepped up, produced right away, and went on to a Hall of Fame career. And I brought it up in the context of what the Yankees have done with so many of these young players we showed you, and you know how it helps to have a veteran-laden team. Now, you would remember the Brewer team. They were in the American League, and when Paul was up, Robin Yount was just as young, but he'd already been up for 3-4 years.
Yep.
And you know, I'm trying to think some of the other guys.
Oh, Ben Ogilvy, Cecil Cooper, Gorman Thomas.
Up and away. But Paul said, yeah, that did help because he came up and not much was expected of him, Paul Molitor, because the lineup was pretty established. In Twins history, Chuck Knobloch was a Rookie of the Year in '91, but they were able to put him in the lineup and surround him around the Chili Davises and Puckett's and Herbecks and guys like that. Strike one down the middle.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Paulie came up and played to play second base. Sal Bando was playing third, I think, still at that point in time.
And Robin was at short.
And Robin was at short, and they had a mix of some young guys, but some real veteran players.
Big pop-up near the Twins dugout, and Escobar watches it spin out of play. Eventually Jim Gantner took over at second. Paul moved around a lot, played in the infield and the outfield. So he said he made note of the fact that these two prospects that the Yankees have brought up now, Andujar and Torres, are hitting 8th and 9th, and he says, you know, that's how good this Yankee lineup is. These guys are supposed to be can't-miss players, and they're not hitting 3rd or 5th or 7th. They're hitting 8th and 9th. 2-2 to Neil Walker.
Or put another way, Aaron Judge is hitting 2nd.
And there's talk about hitting him leadoff. Can you imagine that, facing the ball lifted to the left field corner and foul?
Shades of Gene Mott batting Willie Mays leadoff in the 1965 All-Star game. Still one of my favorite managerial moves of all time. So I got all kinds of guys hit 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I got Stargell and Banks and Aaron, and I got all kinds of guys hitting. I want the best hitter in the game to be up the most times. Pretty cool.
That's strike 3, but the ball gets away from Garver, and Walker will reach. A strikeout of Walker the second time he's fanned, but the ball got by Garver. We'll see if it's ruled a wild pitch or a pass ball.
I think it's got to be a pass ball. It's a wipeout curveball, and I think, yeah, it just went off Mitch's glove. But you can see even the catcher, I mean, he doesn't. The ball just keeps biting, and even his catcher can't believe how far that ball is going to continue to break as late as it did.
I don't agree with the call, but it is a wild pitch.
Oh no, it's not. I'm not changing it.
I'm going to leave pass ball in my book. And Andujar will hit with a runner aboard and only 1 out.
Oh.
Up and in, ball 1. And Andujar struck out his first time out. Big swing and a miss. Torres is on deck. There was some thought, at least I had it, that he might have hurt himself on the tag, but he must be fine.
So that's not the place you want to throw a breaking ball. But again, it's got such big late break that even when you throw what for most pitchers would be a hanging curveball into a right-hander, Andujar couldn't handle it.
It's a check swing foul.
We've seen examples of what they call nasty fastballs, from angry fastballs from Jose Berríos. That ball doors in on right-hand hitters. He's throwing at 93 and 95. The ball's got movement in under the hands. It just sets up that breaking ball so beautifully.
1 and 2. Well, I still maintain that in his first inning of his first start, he threw back-to-back riding fastballs in to Manny Machado in Baltimore, and that kind of set the tone. Not just in the Machado at bat, but in the other at bat.
You're absolutely right about that. You said that back then, and it was absolutely true.
2 and 2.
We were talking about it with Tanaka, what Tanaka said about it, and also with Sabathia, but just to continue to make the point, when a pitcher will show a hitter that he's got a good fastball that he wants to throw on the inside part of the plate, it makes guys get in a hurry and makes them susceptible to just about every other pitch and location.
Blocked by Garver. Now it's a full count.
The last 2 curveballs that Berríos threw, if they had just been a little bit higher, they would have been swing and miss curveballs too.
72 pitches thrown, 10 outs recorded, 6 via strikeout.
You see if Berríos can make a pitch right here. This is we were talking about earlier. The difference for him this year is not only the amount of strikes, but when he really needs to throw a strike is at a quality one.
Spun back over the screen.
Whereas before with Berríos, when he got into a 3-1 or 3-2 situation, you might see one either ball 4 or a fastball or something down the middle. So far this year, he's thrown quality strikes on the perimeter of the strike zone when he had to have a strike.
Walker goes, the pitch nubbed in front of the plate. Garver fumbles it, recovers, and didn't make the play. So Barrios in a jam now, not of his doing. A strikeout and a wild pitch slash pass ball, and now an error on Garver.
Well, he comes we didn't see it there watching the runner, but we'll see it here as Garver comes out. He's in charge of this all the way. He takes and just takes his eye off it. It's amazing how you told him Little League to keep your eye on the ball, to watch it all the way in. Catchers are supposed to use their mitt to grab the ball against with their throwing hand, and he just took his looked up at first base and just missed it.
There's a high fastball, and on a check swing they appeal. No strike to Torres, 1-0. Barrios so good at pitching 1, 2, 3 innings, and so far tonight the only 1, 2, 3 inning he's had was the first, although you could argue he should have had one here in the 4th.
And there's no argument. Yes, he should have.
And looking away in disgust. He's been somewhat animated, and that's the most visible. We've seen that Barrios upset with the home plate umpire, Ryan Blackney.
Yeah, well, the pitches to Brett Gardner when he walked in were strikes. This is a ball. I mean, it can't be a better pitch than that. You cannot make a better pitch than that.
That was like the pitch to Aaron Hicks early in the ball game last night. That wasn't called, and then Hicks got a base hit, and now 3-0. Consensus was Sam Holbrook had a bad night behind the plate last night, and now Blackney in a key spot has missed a strike.
Jose has to get his composure back now.
Gardner on
let
deck.
this get away from him.
Three and 1. Now that's just 93, but I think we've seen from time to time Barrios reaching back for something extra. This might be all that there is left. 93, but he put it up and got a swinging strike.
Oh, here's another big pitch in the game. See if he can make a good pitch here.
Up the middle and through. Cracked his bat. Walker coming around third. He's being waved in. Lamar's throw not in time. And Torres drives in a run, and it's 3-1.
Pretty much down the middle. Torres didn't hit it great, but hit it in a great spot. But again, just going 3-0 on the 9th hitter right there. That's the only kind of thing other than misplays behind you, or in this case in front of you, leading to 2 guys on. Those are the only kinds of things that are going to get in Jose Barrios' way. Just loses focus or loses his release point just a little bit. Go 3-0 on somebody, and that's the only chance hitters have, really.
Garver went to the mound, and Blackney, the home plate umpire, went out between Garver and Barrios after they broke up, as if to see if Barrios was going to come back and say something to him. He did not, thankfully. And there is a pitch outside, ball 1. In the inning, a strikeout, but a wild pitch, allowing a runner to reach, an error on a ball hit 15 feet in front of the plate, and then a broken bat single, and it's 3-1. Pitch number 82. Half swing, but a strike. Inside and in, up, and it's 2-1. You get an example as good as Barrios has been this year. He's really had to struggle the last 2 innings because there are no soft spots in this Yankee lineup, and some weird things happen. Make the mistake of walking a guy or two, and it just seems like your chances of a win are hanging on every pitch.
And when you're throwing strikes and they're not getting called, that helps too. Or hurts, however you want to look at it.
In last night's game, it looked like Aaron Hicks was struck out twice in one at bat, and then he got the base hit to drive in a run.
You want to know one of the best ways to speed up games? Everybody wants to speed up games. It's not what they're doing now. It's just start calling pitches that are strikes.
Pulled foul. Going to crack that bat too. Gardner's going to go back for a new one. Nope. Yeah, he wants a different bat. So for whatever it's worth, Rios has cracked a couple of bats here in the 4th inning, but he finds himself on the short end of the score, 3-1. Irvin Alston checking to see if Ryan Presley is ready. That's fouled. Rapidly approaching 90 pitches here, and he still has just the 10 outs recorded.
He's thrown more pitches than he wants to, than his manager and his pitching coach want him to, but he's pitched very, very well. This is a tough hitting lineup in a very friendly ballpark for them.
Hot ground ball, and he might get 2 outs on 1 pitch. And Barrios gives back another run. Again, a wild pitch, pass ball, an error, and the Yankees pick up another one. It's 3-1. military families to submit a photo depicting what it's like for your child to be in a military family. For details and criteria for photo submission, visit foxsportsnorth.com/events. To the 5th inning, Twins down a couple, and Mitch Garver will lead off the 5th. Garver, Morrison, and Adrianza in the Twins' 5th.
The innings are getting important now for the Twins to ambush CC Sabathia. We know about the quality of the guys in the bullpen out there for the Yankees. And it's getting to be that time where they need to throw an ambush on here, get the game tied up or get back ahead and kind of minimize the strength of the Yankee club here. The guys parading out of that bullpen with a lead.
Off the end of the bat, Garver's going to try to beat Sabathia to the bag, and they'll probably rule that a base hit, although Walker fumbled it in a foot race between Sabathia and just about anybody. Anybody's going to win. Although we did see the other day Bartolo Colon beat D. Gordon to the bag on a similar play.
Ball came up, hit him in the heel of the glove. Would have been a tough play. But I think they would.
They give him an error.
Yeah, I think the manager wants that play to be made.
Okay, who was going to cover the bag?
Well,
was Walker going to beat him to the bag?
No, it was going to. It was going to be bang bang over there. Or, 2 really big bangs on first base. Stay fair.
Morrison down the line cracked his bat, hooking one foul. Second Yankee error. Okay, now you tell me that Walker was going to beat him there?
Well, CeCe's giving it his best shot. Nope. No, Walker wasn't going to beat him, and I don't think CeCe was going to.
So that should be a base hit. The fumble didn't matter, right?
As it turned out, it didn't matter. But I think the first baseman got to at least catch the ball and see what happens.
Runner at first. That's all that matters, and a leadoff batter at that. Morrison with 1 strike. And another slow nubber, and Morrison is retired, and Garver goes to second. Well, we've in the bottom of the 4th, and here now in the top of the 5th, we haven't had any solid contact, have we?
There have been a lot of ugly sounding contacts with the baseball.
Barrios broke a couple of bats. Sabathia's broken a couple, I think, and now Adrianza with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. Adrianza with a fly to left his first time up. Well, the Yankees are pinching the corners in the infield. Why would that be here, do you think? Adrianza's not a big threat to bunt, is he? Strike 1.
I don't think he's a big threat, but I don't think they want to put give the tying run an easy shot at getting on there. I guess I don't mind the first baseman playing in. Third baseman's probably, it's unlikely that he'd bunt to third, but.
Strike 2 is called.
The other thing about that with 1 out and a runner on second, I mean, you should be up there to hit. You can't in that situation. I'd understand he's a tying run, and if I get on, that's a good thing. But I think Adrianza is up there to drive this run in right now.
On the outside corner, and Sabathia puts 3 called strikes over the plate, 2 down.
So if that pitch right there is a strike, a ball that's breaking from outside the plate back on that corner, and here it comes outside, and maybe that's a strike, but I want to know how he can see that pitch as a strike and that ball on the outside corner that's a fastball that you can see all the way that Barrios threw was not. I just think it's inconsistent. I think where they set up to watch the pitch over the inside shoulder there of the catcher, the outside corner becomes a guess, and I think they're not real consistent out there.
Strike 1 to Lamar. off the plate. Sanchez held it like he thought he was going to get it.
Well, why not? He got the one against Adrianza. That might have been outside of Adrianza's by an inch.
It was the same pitch that struck out Adrianza, wasn't it?
That's yes.
1-1. There it is again.
Yep. The only reason that was a strike was higher, right?
And our box shows it was about 5 inches outside. So your 2 strikes. Now you got to protect against just about anything that's close.
Right.
Fights one off. Overhead view of the plate area. 1-2. Twins need a pick-me-up here. They scored first, but now they've seen the Yankees score single runs in each of the last 3 innings. And a clutch 2-out hit here by Lamar might be a momentum shifter. But also get Dozier to the plate here in the 5th.
Exactly right.
Trying to clip the inside corner, but missed 2-2.
But you see where he missed. So he's throwing the outside breaking ball, outside breaking ball, outside breaking ball, outside changeup. Now come inside. He didn't miss back over the plate. He tried to hit the inside corner after all that slow stuff outside. If he didn't hit the corner, he was going to be inside. Now Lamar's got to be thinking about that pitch inside, and he'll probably go right back outside. Yep, with that same pitch. So you can see what he's trying to do. He wants to get you outside, and then he'll throw it in, make you think it's going to be in there, and then go right back out there to the corner.
That was a good take by Lamar, given what's happened earlier in this bat.
Well, you know, there's some pitches I know if you're calling a strike, I'm gonna walk away because I can't hit it. I can't hit it out there. It's too far out.
They don't let you take a canoe paddle up there?
Nope. Well, you could, but
big pop-up. And Walker and Sanchez will let Sanchez catch it, and the Twins can take advantage of the second Yankee error. And the Yankees have a 3-1 lead, and Aaron Judge will lead off the bottom of the 5th. Partial season ticket packages are now available in the Delta Sky 360 Club and Catch. You can become a Twins season ticket holder today. Become part of the Sweet Spot program. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS. Aaron Judge to lead off the bottom of the 5th against Jose Barrios. And let's make this clear. We've been calling him Jose Barrios since he broke in with the major leagues, or with the Twins 2 years ago. That is how he pronounces his last name. You'll hear it pronounced otherwise elsewhere. But hey, if the Twins are going to get to the playoffs this year, win a World Series, maybe 2 in the next 5 years, this guy's going to be a big part of it. And I think he owes it from us to be able to pronounce his name right. Barrios.
It's Barrios.
Barrios, yes. It's not anything else but that. 2-1 to Judge. Doubled into the left field corner. His second time up. Barrios struck him out in the first. And now outside 3-1. The pitch count climbing because there have been a lot of 3-ball counts. And there's even been a couple of walks. And there was a base runner reaching after strike 3 because of what was ruled a wild pitch. And because it was ruled a wild pitch and not a pass ball, that is an earned run. Ball rolls under the glove of Dozier, and Judge will reach with a hybrid infield-outfield hit.
And his second base hit on a 3-1 count where he was cheating on a fastball. Look for the fastball, get the big end of the bat out there.
And back to the stretch for Barrios.
Here's the thing about the Yankee lineup. They are going to absolutely annihilate mediocre pitching this year. And mediocre pitching can take 2 forms. It can be, as it sounds, just mediocre stuff. But it can also be mean. In Barrios' case, mediocre for Barrios is go 3-1 and throw a fastball down the middle. They are going to annihilate those kind of pitches. Barrios' stuff, if he stays ahead, can get these Yankee hitters out better than most. Well,
deep to right.
Yeah, that was right down the middle.
And gone. Gregorius tees off his 8th of the year.
Well, he's a marvelous hitter, and he again went up there on the first ball pitch, guessing fastball, saying I'm going to hit like it's 2-0 or 3-1 on this pitch, and if he throws me a fastball in the middle of the plate, this is what I'm going to do with it. Bang. It's a no-doubter if it stays fair.
And Barrios, who struggled in innings 3 and 4, early trouble in the 5th, and he'll come out of the game. The Yankees have opened up a 5-1 lead.
And when the Bombers have broken the game open, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Minnesota Twins, LLC.
And Ryan Presley with the bases empty and nobody out here in the 5th. The line complete for Berríos right now. 5 runs, 5 earned runs, unless the wild pitch pass ball ruling is changed in 4+ innings. Berríos has been obviously very good, and all the runs he's allowed have come in 2 of his 5 starts. Here's Presley coming in for the 10th time. Berríos gave up 5 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings at home against Seattle. Down low, 1-1. I think you brought up a really good point, especially seeing what the Yankees did with Berríos on the mound. Lesser pitchers are going to have sleepless nights before they come and take the mound here with this lineup.
Yeah, mediocre pitchers are just going to get absolutely hammered by this lineup.
So you have to find a way to outscore them, and the Twins have done very little against Tanaka last night and Sabathia tonight.
Well, make no mistake, that young man didn't pitch as badly as that line looked. He ran out of gas by the 5th because of so many pitches that he had thrown. Now, part of that is because the Yankees make you throw a lot of pitches. They'll battle and battle, and there's not a lot of 1- and 2-pitch outs in this Yankee lineup, partly because they're good hitters, partly because they take close pitches, partly because they swing and miss a lot. So I mean, you do throw a lot of pitches against these guys.
2-2 to Stanton. Tapper foul. The middle point of the 3 you just described is the thing that really impresses me. They do, and with so many inexperienced hitters in the lineup, it's remarkable to me. They do take close pitches. You don't see them chase very often. We saw last night Twins chasing Tanaka's splitter all over the place, but you don't see the Yankee hitters do that. I don't know how you coach that. I don't know how you teach it in the minor leagues. Stanton chases upstairs, 1 down.
Well, Stanton right now, I mean, he's really struggling, not swinging the bat well, and he will chase just about everything right now. But the other guys, I mean, Gardner's a professional hitter. We watch. This is where you get him out, right up there. If he'll swing at it, you'll get it. But Brett Gardner is an accomplished hitter in terms of taking pitches. Aaron Judge, for all the times he strikes out, he'll take a lot of pitches and take pitches that other lesser hitters will swing at. Didi Gregorius won't swing at a bad ball. So there are a lot of guys in this lineup that Sanchez not too bad at taking pitches.
We laud Joe Mauer for his eye. He's got 16 walks. Judge has 20.
Well, there's a reason why he's up there hitting second, right? His on-base percentage is astronomical, and he's up there a lot of times. That lineup turns over. He's up there with men on base. He's up there early in the game. He can just jolt a pitcher right off of his game. That's a great lineup. There's no question. And Stanton at some point in time will start hitting, and then it's going to be really tough.
And we'll see how the bullpen fares here tonight. That's been a real trouble spot on this road trip. Talking with the former Major League pitcher Jim Beattie, who I've gotten to know over the years. You got to know him even better than I. Very respected baseball scout. We were talking about the Twins' weather issues and all the off days in the opening weeks of the schedule, and he volunteered this. He said it would impact your bullpen more than your starters because they can't get into any kind of rhythm at all. And we're not trying to make excuses, but it's an undeniable fact that this team, whether it's a position player, starters basically skipping starts because of the weather. Lance Lynn, Odorizzi had 10 days between starts.
Yeah, you can't. There's no excuse to be made. It's just a fact that baseball is a game of familiarity and rhythm and routine, and the Twins have had an awful time of that. up and down the lineup and the pitching staff.
Well, I just thought it was interesting that Jim volunteered that because, I mean, what have we seen here in the last 4 games? The Twins bullpen that was pretty good in the first weeks of the season whenever they played, but they've really had a hard time since the team got out of Puerto Rico. 3-1 to Sanchez, and now 3-2.
And I don't know that I know Jim B better than you. I knew him from 60 feet 6 inches.
Well, you competed against him. I never have, except in the press dining.
Yeah, I don't know who I'd put my money on that deal.
3-2. Big pop-up. It's a foul ball, and it's probably out of play. Yep. Three and 2 to Sanchez. A home run in the second. He's also thrown out a runner at second base. Leaving without getting it out in the 5th inning. A pretty good bet that we will see Tyler Duffy in this ball game, just called up for today's game. There's a called 3rd strike, and Presley has 2 strikeouts from the first 2 hitters, and Sanchez has some words with the home plate umpire.
Well, he better not. I'm just going to say, as a catcher there for his pitcher, he better understand that that ball's a strike, and they've been getting a lot of it.
Two down, and now Aaron Hicks. Nice chat with Aaron before the game today. Said he enjoys helping beat his former team. That's not a unique emotion. But I told him the Twins have had enough of that on this road trip already. In St. Petersburg, Wilson Ramos, Carlos Gomez, Denard Span. Hicks drove in a run in the ball game last night. Ball 1, now ball 2.
Aaron Hicks is an interesting case study as well. We talked about Didi Gregorius maybe blossoming late into a player that no one knew that he was the high bar that he set. Maybe no one knew was going to be there. Aaron Hicks, when he was with Minnesota, I don't think anybody would have thought that he would come to the Big Apple, this pressure-packed place, and change as a player as much as he's changed from the way he was in Minnesota. Change positively. I don't think any of us saw that coming either.
Most baseball people you talk to, when asked of their opinion of the trade when it happened, Hicks to the Yankees for John Ryan Murphy. Check, swing, strike 2. Most people would tell you they thought the Twins did a great job getting John Ryan Murphy for Aaron Hicks at the time.
Yep.
And it did not work for Murphy in Minnesota. He's doing pretty well with Arizona right now. But most people thought that was a terribly lopsided trade in the Twins' favor. 2-2 to the former Twin. And a chopper foul. Twins, of course, at the time felt Hicks would be expendable because Byron Buxton was coming. See what he's done for the Yankees. It's not like he's a 300 hitter with 30 home run power, but been a pretty valuable extra outfielder. He's a switch hitter, which the Yankees like. 2-2 from Presley. And Presley comes in and strikes out the side, but not until Didi Gregorius goes deep against the Twins again for the 4th straight time. 4th straight game he's homered against the Twins. tank tops were built in Brian Dozier's honor last night. The promise on the shirt said the streak would end, and it didn't. And so then tonight, a different shirt.
I don't think it's going to work either.
Dozier so far is 0 for 2. A bouncer to short and a fly ball to right. He takes ball 1 from Sabathia. Twins haven't hit much hard against Sabathia. Yeah, okay. It ends tonight. And if you're going to go to the expense of making a shirt like that, you want it a bright color. You want to be noticed. Dribble in front of Andujar. And Dozier's retired, and he's 0 for 3. Right? I mean, you'd want a lime green shirt if you really want to draw attention to yourself. Max Kepler will bat. Kepler is 0 for 2. In fact, the Twins have just 2 hits, both of them off the bat of Eduardo Escobar. And neither of the hits has been pulled. Sanchez held it. Thought he'd get the call, but it's ball 1. Kepler had an unfortunate incident here last night. A couple of fans in right field threw full beer cans at him while he was standing in right field. Ball lifted to short right. Torres drifts on it, makes the catch out number 2. Now the fans,
that's scary.
The fans who made committed the acts were found and forced to vacate the building. But I guess beyond that, I mean, when's the last time you were at a ballpark and you got a can of beer?
Yeah, well, there's a reason why you normally don't do that.
Going back, I think, deep into the Metrodome days, it was poured into a plastic cup for that very reason. I was stunned to hear that they sold beer or who knows what else in cans here. Two down, and Sano will bat. He walked and scored in the first, fouled out in the 4th. High fly, left center field in the ballpark. Coming in is Gardner to make the catch, and Sabathia breezes through a 1-2-3 6th inning. Yes, we are. And it's 5-1 New York. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and Ryan Presley had an impressive 5th. Twins would like to think that they can get an impressive inning out of him either tomorrow or Thursday, and so now they're handing the ball to Tyler Duffy, who will come in and make his first appearance of the 2018 season. Duffy just called up at the expense of Alan Buznitz, who was sent down. And Duffy delivers low ball 1. Bottom third of the Yankee lineup: Walker, Andujar, and Torres. Duffy was brilliant in Rochester. High fly, left center field. Lamar in the gap makes the catch, and with 1 out, we go to Marty Gellner.
You mentioned, Dick, that Duffy was very good in Rochester, and he said earlier today that really what he worked on was taking a step back and slowing down. He said he cleaned things up a lot with his mechanics and his pitches, and that the game just moves slower, he said, in AAA, and then it speeds up here in the big leagues. And he'd been here for 2 years, and he said he hadn't even realized how sped up he had gotten with his delivery and mechanics and all of that. He said it helped me a lot to really just take a breath and realize I am in control the whole time.
Kepler glides back, makes the catch on the track, and Duffy says, this is easy. Just throw 3 pitches. I got 2 outs. Thank you, Marty.
Yeah, Marty makes a great point, and Tyler Duffy makes a great point, and Marty notices it. What speeds up at the big league level is your mind, for the most part, and you get rolling as a young player, and some hits happen and some walks happen, and your mind works harder, and the hits start coming, and that's what the speed up means. It's mostly mental, and the ability to calm down and not think that every pitch and every at bat is the most critical thing that's ever happening in your life is a big step for guys.
A strike now, a ball to Gleyber Torres. And outside 2-1. Torres with an RBI single. There's a strike in the outside corner, 2-2. Duffy groomed for a missing role for the Twins, or a role that hasn't been filled, that of long relief. Dylan Betances warming up. We saw CC Sabathia smiling, getting fist bumps in the dugout. 6 innings will be it for Sabathia.
And Aaron Boone is delighted with those 6 innings.
Now, 10 years ago, Sabathia and Aaron Boone would have had a little bit of a discussion in the dugout about coming out after 6 innings. Stroke to left. And a second hit for Gleyber Torres with 2 out in the 6th. He's aboard. And now Brett Gardner. Gardner drew a 1-out walk in the 3rd against Barrios. And it was another costly walk, and that's been his major contribution to this Twins futility here at Yankee Stadium. Leadoff walk last night that led to 3 runs against Jake Odorizzi. And in the wild card game, the Twins had jumped out in front 3-0, and Irvin Santana had his worst start of the year last year. Happened to come in the wild card game, and the mess all started with a leadoff walk to Brett Gardner. Gardner bounced into a double play his last time up, and he takes a strike on the outside corner.
Well, Brett Gardner is a terrific leadoff hitter against right-handed pitchers. And he doesn't hit left-handers as well, but against right-handers he can do all the things you want a leadoff hitter to do with great ability.
Missing inside 1-1.
He takes pitches. He takes close pitches. He doesn't make. easy, cheap outs on balls he shouldn't be swinging at early in counts. He fouls pitches off to extend at bats, takes walks. He's had a very, very good career here in New York.
Might be another double play grounder. Don't need that with 2 outs, do you?
No, we'll settle for one there.
Can we carry one over into the next inning? Anything to get things turned around here at Yankee Stadium. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. Yankees in front, and there's our Pepsi fan of the game, a big fan of the Islanders. First time I came to New York to cover a sports event, it was when the North Stars were taking on the Islanders in the Stanley Cup playoffs in the early 80s. And I made a trip here to Yankee Stadium, the other place, of course, and stopped and did a story on Dave Winfield, who was new to the Yankees.
Way back then.
Way back then, yeah. Escobar will hit against Dellin Betances. And there is ball one right through the webbing of Sanchez's glove. This is his 300th career game, and he will come in to try to protect, at least for a while, a 4-run lead. Twins got just 2 hits over 6 innings. And Betances at times struggles with his control, and now Escobar has taken ball 1 and ball 2.
Yeah, here's a great example of what can happen with stuff when you throw it over. This guy's got about as good a stuff as there is in the game, especially for a reliever, and throws hard just when it's on. It's just a nasty curveball. But as you say, Dick, he can really struggle with throwing the ball in the strike zone.
Thought he had beaten the control issues until last year when he walked 44 men in 59 2/3 innings. Now he also struck out 100.
Yeah.
So we talk about the 3 true outcomes in baseball as hitters more and more try to hit home runs. It's either a home run, a strikeout, or a walk. He only gave up 3 home runs in nearly 60 innings, but the walks can be an issue. And now it's a 3-1 count to Escobar. And that's what happens. And that's why there is some anxiety in the Yankee dugout whenever this guy comes into the ballgame.
So if you're the manager, Aaron Boone, you look at that stuff and you say, I got to have this guy. And the only way, I got to have him pitching well. I mean, if I have him and David Robertson and Aroldis Chapman, I've really got something at the end of the game after the 6th inning. And so I've got to run him out there. It's 5-1. I've got to get him innings. I've got to get him in a rhythm where he can throw strikes. But you walk the first guy up and then go ball 1 to the next guy, and now you're the manager and you're taking your hat off and you're scratching your head. And thinking about getting somebody else up and wondering if this guy's going to figure it out. His stuff is so good.
2012, when it became apparent that Betances was a hot prospect in pitching, he was at the highest level of the Yankee minor league system. Scranton Wilkes-Barre, that's their AAA ball club. He pitched, and this was as a starter. 16 starts, 74 2/3 innings, and 69 walks. And they converted him to a relief pitcher the next year, and the results have been better. But this is still, and now a wild pitch thrown up against the sidewall. A pickoff move that first baseman Walker had no chance to catch it. And it's I mean, you face pitchers like that. Bobby Witt was kind of that way, right? Nolan Ryan was early in his career. But look at this pickoff throw.
You're right, Walker had no chance. I mean,
third Yankee error of the ball game. This one on the pitcher. So as nasty as the stuff is,
Eddie's got to take here.
2-0. And over the inside corner.
And so there's 98 miles an hour on the black on the inside corner. But there's an example of what he's got. It. That's a good take by Eddie. He's got it. It's not even just that he might not throw that one for a strike, but he might not throw the next one. I mean, the guys listen wild. He's got to prove he can throw it over.
And a breaking ball, and Rosario taps it foul.
Yeah, that was inside. Yep. Eddie's the wrong guy to have up there, actually. When a guy's struggling with control.
Escobar's not the easiest guy to walk either, but the pitches that missed to Escobar were close.
Yeah.
2-2 now with Escobar at second. And Sanchez has already gotten a workout here in the 7th inning. Garver on deck. Breaking ball guy. On 3-2, he gave him the slider, freezing Rosario one away. And the last pitch brought to you by Carrier.
Well, Eddie just had fastball in his mind, and why wouldn't you think so? 3-2. He hadn't been close with anything. Why would you decide to drop a curveball? If you throw a curveball there and throw it for a ball, then everybody in the world is thinking, what in the world are you 5-1? You're throwing 3-2 breaking balls? But he threw one over and just froze Eddie.
Ball one, not close.
See, if he'd have thrown that pitch 3-2 and Eddie had taken it for ball 4, then everybody's wondering, what in the world are you? How could you throw a breaking ball 3-2? So I get Eddie's frustration there and why he was sitting just absolutely on the fastball.
And he's got better control of the slider than the fastball. Breaks one over to even the count. And now Betances wants a trip to the mound from Sanchez. Runner at second. Maybe they're feeling they need to mix up the signals a little bit.
Could be that Betances couldn't remember exactly which sign they were using. Okay, what were we doing on?
Well, I can only throw one for a strike, so let's stay with that for a while.
And that was the other thing. You might have also said here. And by the way, I'm feeling a lot better about my breaking ball than my fast. Don't put number 1 down there.
I'm not going to throw it.
No.
Unless you want to go to the backstop. First trip to the mound, first mound visit. Yankees still have 5, Twins have 4. That breaking ball missed.
By the way, he also told Walker over at first base, and by the way, if anybody else gets on first, I'm throwing breaking balls over there when I try to.
Well, Twins hoping to exploit some control issues here by Betances into something here in the 7th. That is a base hit to right off the bat of Garver. Judge charges. Twins down by 4. And now.
Oh no.
catcher Sanchez. They had Garver dead to rights at first, and the Yankees have just committed their 4th error, and it's 5-2. A base running blunder by Garver.
Yes.
But he was bailed out on a terrible throw by the catcher.
Yeah, I don't. Good hitting here by Garver. Fights off a breaking ball with 2 strikes. Now here he gets a little excited because he sees a high throw, and you're supposed to think about going to second, but not down 5-1. You don't need to go anywhere else. And you're right, Dick. He got absolutely bailed out by that errant throw.
You got to be aware of Torres sneaking behind you. He was right in front of him. Here's Morrison. Strike 1 with a breaking ball. I don't know if you can hit it, but if you're Morrison here, you've got to be sitting on the breaking ball unless or until the guy shows he can throw a fastball over the plate, don't you?
Pretty much.
Garver looped one to right, got the base hit, no run batted in. Both Twins runs have been error aided. High and tight at 98.
Just in case you're looking for breaking ball. See, this is what made me a switch hitter here. So I mean, if I'm looking breaking ball and that ball starts coming up, I know it's not a breaking ball. I don't have to hang in there waiting to see if it's going to break away from me. I know it's not. That's not what I thought.
18 pitches, 7 strikes for Betances. .82 pitches for Sabathia, and Aaron Boone had seen enough.
See, I say you should be looking for a breaking ball. When the guy throws 98, you walk up there, it's next to impossible not to look for a fastball. It just is almost impossible.
Pulled foul, another breaking ball. I assumed that the error was on Sanchez, when in fact Torres probably should have caught the ball.
Absolutely should have caught that.
So let's give the. I'm not sure who the error was given to, but it should be on the second base.
They gave it to Sanchez, I'm pretty sure.
2-2 to Morrison. 3-2. Adrianza is on deck.
Man, that's a really nice take by Morrison right there.
David Robertson's warming up in the bullpen. If 82 pitches were enough for Aaron Boone from CC Sabathia, 22 might be enough from Dellin Betances. Full count to Morrison. And even the slider missed badly. 2 walks, 2 errors, a base hit, and the Twins get the tying run to the plate now, and Adrianza. Twins have Mauer, Castro, and Grossman available on the bench. And Adrianza will hit here in the 7th. If the Twins can roll the lineup over and get Dozier to the plate later on this inning. They get back here suddenly for Adrianza. The Yankees helping the Twins back into the game, and now another mound visit between the pitcher and the catcher, and this time the infielders will join in.
Well, this is about getting David Robertson some more time. I'm almost certain of it. Yeah.
And Aaron Boone will come out and get Betances. A wilting outing for Dellin Betances. And David Robertson will come in what has become a save situation. sponsors, running buddies, and advocates. Whether you're already involved or interested in learning more, join us for drinks, food, and maybe some feather bowling in the Mill Room at Prize Brewing. The event is free, open to men and women. Visit foxsportsnorth.com for details, and that's coming up tomorrow, 5:30 to 7:30. Well, the Yankees doing a self-destruction act in the field, and so they have the comfort of bringing this guy in who has been able to shut a lot of things down against the Twins over the years.
And for good reason. He's got great stuff, as we know. Had been a setup man, has been a closer, now back to a setup man for Aroldis Chapman. He's got terrific stuff. Good fastball, throws a cut fastball and a very late breaking, sharp breaking curveball.
Adrianza hoping to run into one here, a hit, an extra base hit. Lamar on deck, and the Twins hope a few more batters will come up here this inning. Only one out. Swing and a miss by Adrianza.
See the example, that curveball there, late break, sharp break.
Missing inside, not by much. Another breaking ball. Twins have gotten some big late hits in this 4-game losing streak. In Tampa, in St. Petersburg, the Rosario grand slam, Kepler home run. It's only added to the frustration of the 4-game losing streak. Now 1-2. Looking for a big hit here from their shortstop. Adrianza's gone on strikes. Lamar heading back to the dugout. Mauer will hit against Robertson.
A lot of curveballs. That one not his best one, but it was in a good location, and Adrianza just couldn't quite see the spin on that, and it was going to be low from the time it left his hand.
Will hit against Robertson rather than the inexperienced right-handed hitter Ryan Lamar, given how this game is developed here. Maybe Mauer's only at bat of the ball game. Just 2 for 11, 4 strikeouts against Robertson.
I don't imagine there are too many guys that have great numbers against David Robertson, but for Joe to be hitting 182, it gives you an idea of the kind of stuff Robertson has.
Down and away, ball 1. Outside 2-0. In St. Petersburg, when Paul pinch hit Miguel Sano, he juggled some things around to keep Sano in the game. I'm not sure if that's even possible with Mauer hitting for an outfielder. 2-0 to Mauer. Dribbled toward the mound. And Robertson ends the inning flipping to Walker. The Yankees commit a couple errors. The Twins on the board again. It's still 5-2.
Escobar scoring Miguel Sano. Escobar would go to third on an error by Judge, but then the bomber strike. Gary Sanchez with a solo home run in the second inning, tied the score. Didi Gregorius with the big ball after Barrios had labored through 4 innings. The 2-run home run got him, the Yankees, to 5-1. That's our Grand Casino story of the game.
Tyler Duffy out there on the mound again, and the Twins have kept Joe Mauer in the game. I figured they'd do it somehow, and I'm trying to figure out exactly where everybody is. Rosario's in left. Kepler is no. Kepler's in center.
Morrison came out of the game, and Kepler's in for Morrison probably.
Yeah.
And Joe in for Lamar.
Lamar's moved over. Well, Grossman is in right field.
Yeah, he hit for Lamar. So, yeah.
So Kepler's moved over to center. And Grossman's in right, and Mauer is in. Important because this is just the 7th inning.
So if you keep a score, it's Mauer for Lamar and Grossman for Morrison.
Well, CenturyLink, what's next? With the Twins and Yankees game 3 tomorrow. Lance Lynn going against Sonny Gray, and then Kyle Gibson against another lefty, Jordan Montgomery, on Thursday. Earlier start time on Thursday, obviously. And we'll see if the Twins can come back and win this game. And then we'll see what happens in the next 2 ball games as well. So Mauer will hit 9th, and Grossman will hit in the 7th spot. Judge will lead off the 7th against Duffy. The bullpen's had a couple of good innings so far. Presley came in the 5th, struck out the side. And Duffy came in and pitched a scoreless 6th on 1 hit allowed. Judge, Gregorius, and Stanton in the Yankee 7th. Big swing and a foul. They did change the error, one of them, in the last half inning, from the catcher to the second baseman. Torres is charged with the error. Kicks away from Garver, and it's 2-1.
I thought you were going to tell me that they gave the pickoff throw error to Neil Walker.
The one I'd like to see change, I would like to see the wild pitch that was charged to Barrios changed to a pass ball in the 4th, because that's the difference between an earned or an unearned run. Driven to right, and it just keeps on carrying off his back. Home run number 7, and he's got a double, single, and now home run in his last 3 at-bats.
So we'll take a look at where this pitch is, and we'll go back to the idea that the Yankees are going to kill mediocre pitching, and mediocre pitching meaning balls in the middle of the strike zone. We've seen where you get him out with fastballs. You don't much get him out there.
We can see the target was up higher.
Yep. You're just not going to get Aaron Judge out on that pitch. That's a home run pitch. It's just that shows up and the ball goes in the seats.
And now Gregorius, who homered his last time up. 3 Yankee home runs tonight. Only one of them pulled. All 3 of them to right field. 1-0. And an off-speed pitch hitting the corner. Gregorius with an RBI single in the 3rd, and then a 2-run home run in the 5th. The last at bat that Barrios had in the game. Down and away, 2-1. And Gregorius has his 3rd hit. And Grossman plays it off the wall, and as it turns out, he played it well, holding Gregorius to a single, but it looked like he was going to try to cut it off before it hit the wall. Duffy now is greeted by a home run and a single.
So as you watch these Yankee hitters and watch this pitch again, it's in the middle of the plate and down, right where left-handers like it most of the time. But as you watch these Yankee hitters, I just keep going back to the same thing. I watch Grossman play the ball off the wall and make a nice throw back into the infield. You can pitch to them. They have holes. There are places where you can throw the ball, whether it be your fastball or your breaking ball, that will get them out. But most times, up and down the lineup, through 3 or 4 times through the lineup, they're going to make you throw it there. And if you don't, by that I mean they're going to take those pitches for the most part where they have holes. And when the pitches down the middle show up, they don't miss them.
Stanton has struck out swinging 3 times tonight after a 4-hit game last night. Missing the outside corner, ball 1. Showed you that Stanton had gotten his batting average up into the 220s. It's down to 216, but it took a 4-hit game last night to get his average up into the 220s. 2-0. As Stanton saw what was happening and going to happen around him in Miami, he wanted out. And he wanted to come here. And ultimately, he got his wish. Gave the ownership in Miami. And, of course, former Yankee Derek Jeter, the figurehead on top of the ownership group, the impression he would not waive his no trade clause until he was dealt to where he wanted to go, which was here. Out at second, relay to first. Not in time. Stanton beat it out, bouncing into a 4th play. 1 down. And the roar is for a fan who came on the field. Security tries to take care of it as efficiently as they can. We may have a longer delay than we intend because I believe I saw the international sign for. Nope. I thought they were going to call for a stretcher. Of course, we won't be showing any of this. Unfortunately, you have to hear the crowd cheering the fan, and that we can't control. Top of the lineup has had a productive game. All Gardner's done is walk, but it was an important walk. And then starting with Judge, 3 hits. Gregorius, 3 hits. And that is where most of the damage has come from. A runner at first, 1 out. And Sanchez finally gets to dig back in. Inside a ball. And now a strike. Sanchez tied the game at 1. The Twins had a 1-0 lead, getting an unearned run against Sabathia in the 1st inning. Driven deep to center field. That's not coming back. Wow. Oh, Sanchez's second home run of the night, coming with a man aboard, and the Yankees have added at least 3 more here in the 7th. Tonight, excuse me, 4 home runs tonight, and now 36 on the year.
They can hit
22 games.
Look at the judge giving him the silent treatment.
And now Aaron Hicks 0 for 2 with a walk, and it's 8-2. Rain has begun to fall here.
Sanchez blast, bring that.
Just adding to the gloom here for Twins fans.
I don't think I've ever seen a one-man silent treatment before. That's pretty good.
Hicks takes down and away. It's 2-0. Sanchez already has 9 multi-home run games. Here are the Yankees. They're leading 8-2, and you look at the other side, they've committed 4 errors. Swing and a miss, 2-1. Outside 3-1. Duffy had as we said, a clean 6th inning, but nothing but trouble here in the 7th. Hook foul. And with that ball hitting the protective screen here, we are very happy to report that the netting has been extended here at Yankee Stadium because of what happened a year ago when we were here, when a little girl was hit by a vicious foul ball off the bat of Todd Frazier. I can tell you it was one of the worst moments of my professional career. And the protective netting extended here at Yankee Stadium, as throughout baseball. Hicks takes a pitch up and in for ball 4. Let's go back to the home run, and Sanchez with a ball that finally did come down a long way from home plate.
So high middle of the strike zone, not where Duffy wants to throw it. Just tremendously strong, great swing. And you know, it's not often you hit a ball to straightaway center field and you start walking into your home run move immediately. That ball was crashed. And then watch this. He says, everybody, we're going to give him the silent treatment here, right? Everybody, don't do anything. Aaron Judge said, we're not going to do anything. But his teammates didn't really respond all that. So here's the judge here standing there. And his other Sanchez came in. His other teammates congratulated him. Judge never moved. So here he comes in. They're you know, everybody, you almost have to say there's high fiving. Judge goes, who cares?
Pop up. There's only one infielder on that side, and Rosario will call off Escobar, and that's out number 2. Well, but let's be honest here. If anybody can stand there and say, well, I've seen that before because I've done it before, it would be Aaron Judge, right?
Well, the great thing about that, I think, is that, you know, it was before Stanton got here, you know, and everybody got excited about all the home runs. Aaron Judge and Gary Sanchez grew up together, being the young dynamic duo of this Yankee team. They've been through a lot together. I'm sure Aaron Judge just loves playing the game of baseball. He's happy for everybody, all his teammates, all the time.
Breaking ball over.
Just he feels like he can needle his brother in arms there. A couple of young, big-time home run hitters.
You know, that's the impression he gives, isn't it? Just in my very limited dealings with him, but when he's, you know, been in the spotlight, whether it be the home run derby or the postseason, and of course the Yankees are on national TV on a, shall we say, regular basis. But, you know, he smiles a lot. He foul. He makes it difficult not to like what you see. If you could ignore the logo on his uniform, I mean, he is what you'd like baseball to have more of.
Yes, absolute hero in those terms. And in my view, he loves playing the game. It shows he loves playing the game. He's polite. He's respectful. He says all the right things with sincerity that you can believe.
It was interesting during a Yankee batting practice. Logan Morrison went over to talk to Judge, and we all know Logan Morrison to be a big human being, and he looked small compared to Aaron Judge. There's a ball getting away from Garver, and there goes Hicks to second base. Did you ever have Frank Howard as a coach? Or you're certainly aware of Frank Howard.
Oh, I played against Frank, and well, I've known Frank since I was a little guy, because my dad finished his career as a player coach in Spokane in 1958 or 9 when Frank Howard was coming up.
Okay.
And so Frank was actually at our house. I mean, he's a big man.
1-2 to Andahar.
Aaron Judge, to your point, is like Frank Howard was, only built a little trimmer for all his size. Looks like a bodybuilder. Frank was just huge.
2-2.
It was also a pretty funny sight during the national anthem when the Yankee outfielders were out standing together, and it was Aaron Judge and then Aaron Hicks and then Brett Gardner, and Brett Gardner looked like I looked next to Frank Howard when I was 6.
Fouled on the right side, and Mauer chasing it, but it's out of play. Yeah, I saw that and I thought it's like nesting dolls, you know, where one fits inside the other.
That's exactly what it looked like. And Aaron Hicks is a big man. I mean, he's not a little guy. But there was only one big man standing in the Yankee outfield during the anthem today.
Duffy struggling. He's thrown 40 pitches. Again, he just showed up here, and the Twins have needed him right out of the chute. Barrios taking the game into the 5th, but not getting it out in the 5th. 2-2, and there's strike 3. Well, Duffy picks up another strikeout, but he gives up 3 runs, and the Yankees have opened it up. It's 8-2. 4 more home runs for the Yankees tonight. They lead at 8-2. The only good news we can give you at this point, it has stopped raining. And Brian Dozier will have 1 more at bat at least to try to extend his hitting streak to 25 games. Dozier, Kepler, and Sano, and they'll face left-handed reliever Chasen Shreve. Shreve, the other left-handed reliever for the Yankees, or Aroldis Chapman, the closer. And a first pitch strike.
Shreve's actually pitched very well for the Yankees as the other left-hander. See if Bryant can get himself 1 here off this left-handed pitcher. Shut that guy up.
1-1. So your longest hitting streak was 19.
19 games, yep.
In your great year 79,
79.
Okay. So were you aware of it in all seriousness?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're aware of it while as it's going on. You hope it continues, and just because getting hits is what you're up there to do. And hitting is such a game of it comes and goes, and when it's with you, you don't want it to end, but you don't really think about it. As I mentioned in our pregame show, I didn't really think that I was going to challenge Joe DiMaggio's streak, and so you just ride it for as long as you can. But you get into double figures and say, hey, well, this is pretty good. I've got 10 games, I got 11 games, and then pretty soon people start talking about it. It gets up to 16, 17 games, and people are talking about hitting streak, and it's nice, but all you're really trying to do is get hits to help your team win. And as long as they keep happening, you're happy.
Sharply hit, but into the shift with Gregorius pulled into the hole. Long way. Yeah, you never know. Might get another chance.
Let's hope he gets another chance.
Hit the ball sharply on the ground, 1 down. I just would think from the standpoint of, you have to be aware of what your batting average is, and so for 19 games in a row, there's a real good chance your batting average isn't going down, because you've got at least 1.
Well, that's
the
point.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, you're trying to get hits. That's your job, and that's what's fun about the game is getting hits. And so when you're getting 1 or 2 or more, at night, then it's fun. It's a good thing.
The discussion of DiMaggio, and is that the record that'll never be broken? I believe a human being will run a 3-minute mile before
somebody gets 57 hits in a row.
57 hits in a row.
57 hits in 57 games. Well, I thought that Lou Gehrig's consecutive games played streak would never be broken, and Cal Ripken broke that playing shortstop of all things. I mean, it's an astonishing achievement what Cal did. To me, astonishing. Durability and strength and mental strength that he just went out there and played the game every day, and I so admire that about Cal and what he did. I didn't think that would ever be broken, but so I don't ever say that anymore.
Okay.
But what it takes to get a hit in that many games in a row, it's almost unfathomable. So I can't argue with it. If you want to believe that, I'm not going to argue with it.
Well, it strikes me that hitting generally is so much more difficult than it was, because you might have 4 at-bats in a game against 4 different pitchers.
Right. That's we were talking about Joe Mauer not hitting well, having bad numbers against David Robertson, for example. You see David Robertson once, maybe twice a series.
Deep to left center field, toward the gap, and both Hicks and Gardner look at one another, and Kepler has a double into the gap. Either of the players might have been able to make the catch, and they both looked at one another in a drop.
Well, Kepler gets a gift. Aaron Boone, the manager of the Yankees, not happy with that play out there. We'll watch it again. Kepler, a nice swing against a left-hander, going inside out, staying on the ball a long time, and they're looking at each other. That's actually Aaron Hicks' ball. I think the ball was slicing away from him, so he thought maybe the left fielder would get it. But when 2 players are that close, that's the center fielder's ball, I think.
Here's Sano, a walk, a pop-up, and a fly ball. amid all the pitching woes, and the Twins have plenty of those here on this road trip, they would love to see this guy start to hit again. He averaged below 200.
Yeah, they definitely need him. There's no question. They're not going to score nearly enough runs this year if he doesn't become the Sano that we know that he is. Here, pretty quickly, actually.
Now, this is the first time today he's come up with anybody on base.
But back really just to finish your point about how tough it is to hit. I mean, that your point is the right one. I mean, Joe Mauer hitting 182 against David Robinson, for example. You might see him once a series, twice a year. Right. And I mean, there's no, so that's tough to get any rhythm, and to see a starter for 2 at bats and then another reliever for another one, and a closer for the 4th one. It's hard. It's very hard now.
1-2 to Sano. And I think a foul tip at Sanchez, perhaps. And Blackney is swept off a plate that didn't need to be swept off.
You know, you hit 3 line drives your first 3 times up, and then get a roll as Chapman your 4th. You know, the kind of thing. I mean, it's not easy to get a hit every day.
That's strike 3, and Sano walks back to the dugout, and he's ruled out after walking off the dirt. 2 down, and that'll bring up Escobar. Escobar has reached all 3 times. He got the only 2 hits the Twins mustered against CC Sabathia. Then he drew a leadoff walk against Betances and scored.
Going to punctuate our hitting today story, or a point, with one more story. Tony Oliva
deep to the left field corner and down for a hit. 3rd hit tonight for Escobar. It drives in a run as he gets his 2nd double.
Well, this is not exactly modern day, but you've heard Tony Oliva say he used to. We watch a kind of a hanging slider there, and Esco doesn't miss it. Got a bit of a gift and was able to keep it inside the foul line for another Escobar double. He's known for extra base hits, especially doubles.
Not known as a cleanup batter, but looking at his at bats, it was a pretty good call by Paul Molitor, because he's given the Twins their best plate appearances. He's reached all 4 times, and now Rosario takes up and away.
Tony Oliva said that he always wanted to. He liked it when Jim Palmer and Catfish Hunter and those guys pitched. I said, why in the world would you want to hit against see those guys all the time? He said, because they were so good, I knew they'd be around for all 4 of my at-bats, and by the 3rd or 4th time I got them. I knew I had them.
That's the confidence of a really good hitter.
I just love that.
1-0 to Rosario. He is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Taken low, 2-0. Home run power can make up for a lot of mistakes. And the Yankees have done both here tonight. 4 home runs, 4 errors,
4 errors, yeah.
A misplay in left center field in this inning. They've hardly been very tidy in the field. 3 hopper to second. Torres makes the play, and the Twins are done, but they got a couple of doubles and another run on the board. Twins go one man deeper into their bullpen. It's Taylor Rogers coming in to pitch to Gleyber Torres, leading off the Yankee eighth. First pitch grounded to Brian Dozier, and Torres is going to have his extra inning hit streak come to a close here, very likely. One down. If you just joined us, Jose Barrios pitched into the fifth inning but did not get an out. Gave up 5 runs, all of them earned at this point. So again, half this game, it appears, is going to be pitched by the bullpen. Rogers asked to pitch for the 9th time this year. One down, and now Brett Gardner 0 for 3 with a walk. I think we kind of suggested it before first pitch here tonight, and the frustration for Twins fans continues with an apparent loss here at Yankee Stadium against the Yankees. What will it take for the Twins to win here? And the simplest answer is also the best answer. They need to play better baseball tonight.
Right.
They didn't pitch well, they didn't hit well, and if they're 3 outs away from losing here to the Yankees once again. One and one. And Paul Molitor knows it.
Well, we were talking about it. It's about execution, and it's having a plan on the mound and be able to, in this case, know where the holes are of the Yankee hitters and be able to throw them there. Get ahead in the count, which Barrios did for the first 3 innings pretty well. He battled through some really some weak hits. The score should have been 2-1. And then just kind of ran out of gas with all the pitches that he had thrown. But basically on the mound, you got to make pitches, throw the ball where you're supposed to throw it against good hitters, or they're going to make you pay. And when you're up there at the plate, you have to have a plan that you execute, not swing at pitches that are tough to hit before you have 2 strikes. Get a ball in the middle of the plate like the Yankees do. The Yankees just make you throw the ball in the middle of the plate. They don't swing at it before that.
Called strike 3, 2 down. And it wasn't just the pitches thrown for Barrios, but the pitches thrown, as we say, under duress. And really, after Hicks's walk in the 2nd inning, just about every pitch that Barrios threw was under duress. Nice pitch by Rogers, getting the call. 2 down, and now here's Aaron Judge. A double, a single, and a home run, and you know what that means. He's a triple short of the cycle.
That's true. What that means is if he hits the ball to the wall, he's going to be thrown out at third, or he's going to get a cycle. At least I would.
Run till you're out.
Run till you're out here.
1 strike from Rogers, and if Rogers could get through this inning with 10 pitches thrown or whatever, that might be a factor for tomorrow and Thursday. Just missing the corner, and it's 1-1. This guy's an athlete. I can see him getting some triples.
Oh, he can run just fine, you bet.
1-1. Two and 1. Twins falling behind the Indians, but they lost tonight too, 10-3. Two and 2. Melky Cabrera signed a minor league deal with the Indians today.
That will be interesting.
And a strikeout of Judge, and a good inning for Taylor Rogers. The Twins will hit in the 9th, down by 5. Night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and a Twins Links co-branded cap. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/links or call 800-33-TWINS. I do have some more good news for Twins fans. A, they'll leave here Thursday and never come back to Yankee Stadium again during the regular season. And then B, the weather for the homestand is supposed to be phenomenal. I mean, they're talking upper 70s on Monday, and I believe upper 60s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Beautiful.
Oh, gorgeous weather.
Beautiful.
Mitch Garver will lead things off against Jonathan Holder. The fourth Yankee reliever.
You see Holder's numbers on the season, not too impressive. 11.5 ERA. See if the Twins can expand that a little bit. Drop some earned runs on him. Get back here, make it a little exciting.
Ball one to Garver. 1 for 3. He's reached twice. Single to right his last time up. Checked his swing, took a strike. At no point in 2017 did the Twins lose 5 games in a row. They had 4-game losing streaks, 1 in April. And the team started this road trip. Technically, the road trip started in St. Petersburg on a high note, a dramatic extra inning win against the Indians in San Juan. Not a whole lot has gone right since. Twins are in position to win the opener in St. Petersburg. Lost a late lead after coming back. A chance to win Sunday's game.
Yeah, they played a lot better than the 0 for 3 in St. Petersburg would indicate. That was a tough stretch, especially before coming in here.
2-2 to Garver. And a strikeout, 1 down. And that'll bring up Robbie Grossman. It's a footnote to the game and the season for that matter, but the Twins need to get 2 men on base or score a couple of runs to get Brian Dozier up to extend his hitting streak. Right now he's 0 for 4. Grossman entered the game when the Twins moved Morrison off of first base to keep Mauer in the game, in the hopes that Mauer would not only hit again, but it might be in a meaningful spot in the 8th or 9th inning. And we don't even know whether we'll get a chance to see him come up here in the 9th. 1 strike. One and one.
Sanchez has had quite a night behind him in this game. He's punished baseballs all night as a hitter and been punished by them behind the plate. I think they must have thrown about 6 57-footers at him at least this game.
He was like a hockey goalie when Betances was in the game. 1-2. Missing inside, 2-2. And the Twins would like to see Grossman start swinging the bat like he has for them over the last couple of years. Four hits, 33 at bats, and he takes low.
Well, I'll just say again, you break from spring training and the pitchers are ahead of the hitters. That's just the way it is. It takes a while for the hitters to come out of spring training and see big league starters night in, night out, not like it is in the rather comfortable at bats you have in spring training. The pitchers are ahead of the hitters, and then you play 2 games in seven days with the weather and everything that happened. It's difficult to get in the rhythm.
3-2. Foul back, and it's beyond the games not being played. It's the batting practice time. The Twins ended up.
Well, they didn't hit on the field.
No, they had once during the homestand, and it was a week-and-a-half long homestand.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And then you go to San Juan, and before the first game, the Twins were in the middle of batting practice, I guess, and the rain came and the tarp came on the field. It's kind of like, okay, what else? Off the bat, foul. I do believe, and I'm interested in your thoughts, this team really tore the cover off the ball in the second half and finished in the top third in the league in a run scored, and I expect they'll be there again this year. But right now, the only way to beat the Yankees is to outslug them, and the guys aren't hitting right now. There's 5 hits tonight, 3 of them from Escobar. Ground ball to second for the second out, and that'll bring up Adrianza. Adrianza 0 for 3. Kepler has a double, and again tonight it came against a left-handed pitcher. Escobar has 3 hits, and Garver has 1. That's it. Strike 1. Was it just Friday night, Saturday night? We were talking about how the Twins were out homering their opponents like 19-10 or whatever it was, and now it's 26-19. Oh, 2 to Adrianza. Foul back. Look at this, 145 hits on the season and 174 strikeouts.
Yeah, that's too many.
Outside, 1 and 2. And now 2 and 2.
I'm hoping Adrianza can figure out a way to get on there some kind of way. Get Joe up there, maybe get a chance to get Brian back in there too.
Call 3rd strike, and fittingly the game ends on a strikeout. And for the first time since 2016, Twins have lost 5 games in a row. They have fallen now 2 games below the 500 mark. Tom Hanneman, the Twins continue to have a tough time playing good baseball and then win baseball games here in the Bronx.